All right, now I can go home. Let me look at my character sheet. I'll probably ride my guys across land. There's still enough I can get here. And I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave with Ushnik. I'm going to leave with my soldiers here. We're going to take the body of Lady Jade back to Marseille and leave Montpellier Valley. Let me sum up here really quick. I now know that Richelieu has a firm hand in the government of Paris and the government of France. That means we're moving still further down. The next step on the Reformation here is going to be M or N. There are random rolls here. If you're just if the players didn't do anything to influence it, you can roll randomly to push the plot. But otherwise, I have been actually playing this out, so that's why I went to J here. And from J, 1 to 4, 5 to 7, so it goes to M, Q, or N. And I'm curious. I haven't looked at these tables in a little while. M, Q, and N. M is the fact that there would be a murder of a reformist leader. Wow, that would be the guy that I got the pistols from. N, I would find counter-reformations. And a Q, revolts of the peasantry. All very good encounters that can result. Peasantry, death of the reformist, formation of a counter-reformation tactic. The papists coming in saying that they're going to try to keep the church in its medieval state. For us, in a larger sense, I go to Henri. I have failed this mission. That could be growth. It was a major significant event that I find the Lady Jade is injured. And we're going to flip cards for the Epilog. Tower of Destruction. That probably is as bad as it sounds. Till the deck reshuffles, ignore 10s. And when selected, skip the next result. How rare true love may be, even less so than true friendship. The company moved with determination, but I naturally slowed the pace. There was no reason to kill the draft horses or recklessly tire my soldiers. There was also no need to point out that we were being followed. For now, the horsemen were content to keep a precise distance. They were scouting us and waiting for someone. We could be moving straight into another force, an inevitable clash. Well, I am in the Epilog, ignoring 10s and skipping to the result. Here's trying to get home. I'm traveling with my company of men. And I got myself an 8. Now that's going to be a personal event. Old World Sword. Is it inverted? I need to roll to see if it's inverted. Got ourselves a 5, so it's high. It's not inverted, so at least it's not too bad. You see a perfect moment to profit at others' expense. Not really a person that's a profiteer, so I probably would say no. Pirate's hunch on a difficult roll. On roll of 12, I got a pirate's hunch. I roll my dice here for a pirate's hunch. And it is 5. I have no idea. I don't want to stick with that. I probably would stick from that. I probably would not. If the event is unlawful, care to change your mind. An ordinary roll, but fail and automatically wrong. No, I would not. I'm not a profiteer. I'm having a Reformation theme of this campaign. It says accept yes or decline no. I would decline. Perhaps Ushnik has told me that they want to have me as a minor agent in Das Kappas, and I said, nah, I'm a mercenary. If I get a full purse, I'm happy. I'm not really interested in trying to become a banker later in life. Ushnik got word from Das Kappas that a deal was struck between Gabriel and Baron Leo. Perhaps we would avoid a final battle after all. I was offered placement, though the title was too Latin obscure to be anything other than imaginary authority over fictitious supplicants. I had no desire now for greater wealth and little more for glory. All was too soon with my lady near and lifeless stone. A storm approached. We needed to find a barn, if not an inn. We would settle down to sleep under strung tents between the wagons, as best as we may. Only for yes, your actions somehow undermine the nation's plans. Well, that would have been nice, undermine the nation of France. But because I picked correctly here, and Ref will name a country involved, I could perhaps quit the mission and appease the, but I don't need to quit the mission here. I'm good in the sense that I have did not accept that mission, did not try to profit, and because I did not try to profit, I should check an ignoble for that. Is it growth? I already checked growth. Display of skills of savoir-faire? I did not make a roll to get display of skills. Treasures, profits, and profiteering, sort of the anti-roll. Tailworthy experiences. How about if I take the fact that was not seeing a good one? Nope. No ignoble there. We'll be honest to the game. If I had perhaps decided to profit with profiteering from that, I'm probably too consumed by the fact that Lady Jane is mortally wounded. I'm bringing her body back to her father. And we flip the next card of encounters. And it is a knight. Double knight card. Is it a knight negative or knight positive? And again, that's a low roll, so it's going to be a negative knight encounter. Now, this could either be a new knight or Ushnik disgruntled. But I'm going to call it a new knight. Let's get ourselves a battle here. And as we look on Henri, I do need a personal duel. How about if attacking Gabriel wouldn't be that good. I think we should bring up maybe Flambeau. By this time, Ivan has lost his boat too. But I think for some reason, he wanted that to happen. But, if he didn't expect it to happen, he doesn't feel too bad about losing a single caravel. I'm going to add Flambeau again. I'm going to get attacked by Flambeau. In fact, I may make a point about this. Flambeau, in fact, when Flambeau finds out that the Lady Jade has been injured, his future bride-to-be, he gets very incensed by that, and he comes to challenge me to a duel. Now, I'm going to make him level 3 and give him a defensive modifier. So let me look first at that. Now, NPC's defensive modifier, personal duels. Under attacks level and multiplier, enemy defensive dueling modifier. Flambeau is going to be level 3, and is he cunning or dashing? He's probably not dashing, but he probably is a cunning man. So he's going to have a defensive modifier of 3. Now, what that means is that whenever I take an action in personal duels, I would, instead of having to roll, for instance, a knave on a roll of a 10, I would have to roll a 13. But because I can use my pistolier to cancel the defensive action once per adventure, I will use it here in the epilogue. I don't have any make rolls left, but you can't use make rolls in the epilogue anyway. Embers turned to smoke, a chilly fog covered the fields, and refused Sunrise her task of warming the land. I woke off-put, the reek, pickled fish and strong stench of vinegar. On the other side of the brocage, the enemy we sighted before was camped, as unaware of us a moment before as we were of him. Both sides sought what neither found, shelter. Flambeau. Had to be him. He was the only adversary left cut out of the Das Kappas deal. Lady Jade was to be his bride. Her body would not be stained by his greed-inspired tears. Form a square, protect the guns, hold the enemy at distance. I left Ushnik in charge. Morvan too was issuing orders, arranging our wagons, using the hedgerows. I set out. I would draw the impatient away or kill the mayor. Either meant victory. And I will go ahead and take a card under brash. This sounds like something that I would be angry. He's attacking me for injuring his bride-to-be. It's a loss to me as well. I had affection for the lady. And here comes my first card of brash. 50-50, it's going to be high. There is no defensive modifier because I use my pistol ability to cancel it. I want a high number to make this correct. It's a 1, so it's going to be inverted 8. And we're going to go to brash, bane, 8. Double check that. This is my short-term memory. Yeah, it's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stabs beating me. Lock an enemy's arm behind his back, trying perhaps to get a bit more information on what you're facing. More for this is I'm trying to convince him that I was not responsible, and the woman was just an arranged marriage with him. There was no love she had for him. Can you see through the guy's lies or see through my own falsehoods? Fail roll, a player character has broken morale, must try to escape. That's not too bad anyway. Meaning his method is defensive unless force regular. If ever given the option, will attempt to flee. Inquisitionist, I'm an Inquisitionist, but I don't need a roll of a 6. Let's see if I can make a roll of a 6 on 2 dice. 5, I missed it. I'm forced to flee defensive. I figure fighting Flambeau is not worth it. Sort of a layoff man. My brash nature, just once I might have held for a more calculated approach. I found Flambeau, all alone. I grabbed him before he gave alarm. Small arms were issuing elsewhere. Soon my cannon would be toweled off and rudely wake the rest of his men. I had him, knife to throat. Yet, hesitation. Psalm 103:12 came to mind. As far as the east is from the west, that far has he removed our transgressions from us. I did not recite aloud. With clenched teeth, I pled with the mayor to just go home. We had no more feud. There was enough space in all of France that we might never meet. He would not parley. He wanted me dead from spoiling his goal. Man, I did not kill my lady. My use of that possessive pronoun saw him armed and slashing. Now remember, for individual fighting in duels, many of the ignobles, you don't actually even have to win the battle. So now I'm trying to get away with escape. And here comes my devil card. A devil card trying to escape under defensive. And the devil card. Devil card. Curse with foul luck until the deck reshuffles. Selecting player automatically misses his roll, attempts to dispatch, except when made by make roll. Well, I can't dispatch, but maybe I can get away instead. And that was a tough break, as Flambeau seems now to be armored by the plot. I needed to get away, back to my company. An enemy is an enemy, less so if he goes far away. He pursued me doggedly as I evaded through the hedges. When I heard him creeping a row over, I taunted. Once again, I lacked the good sense of self-restraint. The hermaphrodite named Flambeau pranced on a foggy plateau. Because he was heinous, he cut off his penis and stained his shoes with roe. Here comes the next card. And it is a 4. Is it a 4 that we... And it is a true 4. It is a 4 under defensive. I read the 4 defensive. 4 defensive. Counter a furious exchange of slashes before lunging home on the victim. Success and dispatch. A roll of offense are an 11. I'm not going to make this roll anyway as an 11, but... and not thinking optimistically, but the devil says that I will not be able to dispatch him here, so I make this furious exchange of blows, and I roll myself 7 on 2 dice. I missed it anyway. But because it wasn't a bane, there's no negative outcome from it. So he has broken free from his arm lock. He is now dueling with me back and forth with swords. Nobles are taught to duel. Ambitious men, too, learn this tradecraft of politics. I learned to brawl versus pirates. We shattered each other's blades after too many shoulder swings and full blocks. So much for our refined minuet. And here comes my next card. It is a king. Is that card going to be? And it is a 1, so it's going to be a bane. Defensive bane of a king. A defensive bane of a king. A scene becomes a tangle of converging passages, restricted deck space and cabin space, dense foliage is mazes of side alleys. I mean, we're probably in some of that famous French focage, the mass of trees between the different fields as we're going. Success and sort where everyone is lurking. On a fail roll, the player selects a regular. Oh, interesting. If the player character is not of trait cunning, difficulty increased by 4. I am a cunning person. Regardless, difficulty of all banes increases by 2. Architect shipwright on a 5. I need to roll a 5 or I'm going to have to take irregular actions, and we don't want to have to take regular action. I rolled barely a 5, but barely enough is barely enough. We grappled, tumbled on the ground, neither of us able to draw a dagger. Did I even carry one? The mayor was not fit. I toyed, poked. I anoint you the sovereign of farts and groans. I had no idea what was driving me toward the impractical. The death of my beloved left me with no caution. Here comes the next card, and it is King. And is it? It is a king, but it is a bane. King Bane. And what was the? It was from that last card, which was the Queen, right? It was a second king. A king and a king? Back-to-back kings, defensive. Once again, I am trying to battle with this tangle of the foliage here. I probably got him on the opposite side of the hedgerow here, and I'm shouting at him through him that he's wasting his ire at me. It's ridiculous. Good time to maybe taunt him with a limerick. And again, a roll of a 5, but I treat continuing forward actions. I could treat Banes as +2. Do I want to increase Banes by another 2? Probably not at my level. A 5. I haven't failed to roll. I'm going to take an irregular card. We stalked each other. I wasn't clear how far anyone else was from our duel. I could hear no more gunfire. One side or the other had won the greater fray. Crossed fingers, that victor was Ushnik. I stumbled and fell into a brook. The grass on its edge concealed the drop. Now my powder was wet, my stunted sword near worthless. Here goes my irregular card. And there's the moon. The moon card. The moon card tells me that confuse until the deck reshuffles initiatives decided at random. It's sort of a holdover from a previous version of the game. Also, if you have lots of players, you can decide who's going to, instead of having a normal rotation where Tony takes an action, then I take an action, then Rusty, then Conrad, I could dice and resort. For here, it's not going to be of any importance. Is there a result if it happens to be inverted? Do I need to roll for that? Let me look. No, it isn't. All too quiet. Maybe Flambeau ran off. No, I could see where boots with a heel had tread. Every so often, a yonder bird would take flight. We did not converse anymore. His thoughts and mine were singular and blank. And the next card I flip, it's going to be a 5. And is it going to be a Bane? It is a Bane. A 5 Bane irregular. Need to get out of this faction. By hook or by crook. I would have shot, except I could not. Goodness, I didn't. The man I encountered in close quarters was Ushnik. He handed me his buckler and sword. He armed himself with 2 cruel knives. Ushnik admonished me, "Learn how to fight Florentine if you insist we run gambits here on land." I promised we would be seaboard soon. I hefted his accoutrements of battle. I think he's run off. However, leave me the satisfaction of any kill. Ushnik shook his head and trailed slightly behind. And my irregular 5, Bane, your metal bonnet is hot, bulky, cuts your sightlines, and is often used by your friends as a chamber pot in the field. But golly gee, it might just have saved your life as the enemy strikes your noggin with a bottle box belaying pin stone. So fail and fall with a vicious wound. Here's my dog in the back room. 5, but we're continuing Banes, adding 2 to Bane, so I need 7 on 2 dice, or I've fallen with a vicious wound. Be the second one. I did not make the 7, so I can use Ushnik, or I can end it here. No, I use Ushnik. Ushnik comes in to save my life. But I have now lost my soak-off. Gosh, this is ugly. A keen dagger struck right through the hedge. Flambeau had laid in wait for an inconceivable period. A spider, such patience to murder. His stuck target, unfortunately, was Ushnik. Upon seeing his mistake, he retreated to formulate his next move. Now, I debated here using the death of character digression on myself. Ushnik was a nice companion NPC for Tales, but the very nature of this game and the very nature of Soak-Off means that he was doomed. Watch out, Walter Morvan. It's a game, remember, not a linear crafted story with every decision cleared by a focus group and marketing. And here comes the next flip of the card. Did I get out of irregular there? Let me see if that's a result of irregular. 5. Fail and vicious wound. I think it was only irregular actions. A chariot card comes up. Here comes the chariot. If possible, more opponents arrive. Perhaps those knocked out grapple. Referee decides who and how many. So now I have to defeat the Lord High Mayor and his guard. We had won the main clash. My company scattered the guards of the mayor. My men remained ordered in defense, waiting for my return. That loyalty may have got Ushnik skewered and could slay me, with little help here. A straggler. The mayor was joined by a grungy guard. I could hear the two converse, plot strategy. The guard asked if he should let Flambeau have the satisfaction of killing me. Flambeau chastised the knave. No, shoot him upon sight. I want him dead, not humiliated. A lesson I might learn. Could be the end of me. Queen! I don't get out of this. And it is a queen, and it is a normal queen. A queen. You step blindly into an opponent's right. That's a bane. Let's read the correct one here. A queen, unable to ready for this attack this round, you maneuver for position, fail roll, and knocked unconscious. Even if you succeed, you select a regular next round's attack. It's an 11 stout. 2 dice for an 11. Knocked unconscious, taken prisoner, go to digressions. 12. I am not knocked unconscious as I maneuver to position. I was being chased, almost driven. I had doubled back all I could, crossing lanes of the hedges I had before. With 2 of them lurking, I could not just cut and run. At least one of the 2 lay in wait between me and the direct path back to my reinforcements. A bigger worry consumed me. What if Flambeau has more than 1 guard already joining the hunt? Bet you guys were watching thinking, oh, that was the end of him. No, I'm still in this battle. I must take another irregular card this round. And I got myself an 8. Is it a death card for me? It is going to be a Bane 8. A Bane 8. A Bane 8 irregular. A Bane 8 irregular. The enemy appears to be fleeing or taking a longer path of maneuver through these different hedgerows. Focus your attention back on the immediate. Here is a chance. You had better hope to also foster them to hesitation and not just a furious rage. Regarding the enemy has servitors. 1 has fled the battle, so I have outmaneuvered back into a position into the maze of hedgerows where it is just me and Flambeau again. And it's a difficulty of 6 rabble-rouser. I am a rabble-rouser. I am rolling 3 dice to get a 6. Banes have increased by 2, so it's an 8. 3 dice for an 8 in order to avoid the vicious wound. A 9. I avoided the vicious wound. The 2 adversaries made a mistake. They shot mistakenly and hit each other. The firearms discharged blindly. Nearly at the same time, the guard was slain. An ironic mishap. Flambeau's face was priceless to behold. I saluted him for his fortunate marksmanship. Here comes another card. It is a queen. It's the Empress. The Empress card. Empress card says, until the deck shuffles, the player ignores all major tarot coming along. Of course, the wheel is always still rolled. And a Knight card. Now, I'm back on defensive by now. I've taken enough irregular cards, and it didn't specifically say your next card must also be irregular. Is this going to be a face-up or a downward card? Let's go back. And it is going to be a face-up Knight. This is my chance to get away. Opponent nicks your face with a duel. Well, that's the Bane. Let's read the right one. A parry and block a number of the victim's blows. After making an effortless slash that cuts the victim's arm, he runs. Success. And Flambeau will flee. Fencer on a 9. 2 dice for a 9. And Flambeau has fled. 8. Missed it by 1. We met in the open. Time to decide this. I connected on his knuckle guard. The cutlass Ushnik handed me versus the mayor's broken hilt and offhand fencing dirk. That dirk killed Ushnik. I drew sharply back and butchered with a slice. Hereafter, he'd be known as the Deuce. Just 2 remaining fingers left on his left hand. Continuing the duel, defensive. And it's a 7, it's a straight up 2. A straight up 2 is leap behind cover and fire my pistol. That sounds a lot like me. Success, dispatch 1 opponent. Fail, an enemy is vigilant. NPC will double the defensive modifier. Luckily, I'm canceling that. It's a difficulty of 12, unfortunately, but daring pistol fire. Upon a stone mile marker adjacent to the old Roman road, the mayor was standing, glancing about. I was pursuing him. We both knew the land we had to tread. I came upon Ushnik's body. I touched his brow. He startled me by speaking. Inside my boot, he gargled blood. Take my babushka's pistol. Bring it back pristine. Now, note, I cannot dispatch, unfortunately, but I will make it since this card in this game has been going on for way too many cards for a solo adventure. I'm going to say that if I make this 12 and Daring Pistol Fire, remember I picked up Daring Pistol Fire, we can clear the board here maybe of all these cards so that... You can see the fact that I hope I had video of that because suddenly I lost all my stuff. Boy, that was an accident. Oh, it clears my levels, though. I did have that Daring Pistol Fire that I picked up before. 3 dice, looking for a 12 to win this battle. Here it comes. 17. I have won this battle. Walter Morvan brought the company up in good order. Flambeau absconded. Morvan had captured the other side's baggage train, wagons, horses, and ale. He confessed that finding me alive was a slight disappointment, and he would step back immediately into the role of my first lieutenant. He did retain and wear the mayor's gaudy hat with blue ribbon affixed. Ushnik would not be buried in a field. Many knew him. Sailors he recruited to my cause. I dispatched a pair of them with my full purse to return Ushnik back to Russia, in a wagon, to the village where he was born. I am not home yet. I'm still in the epilogue, but this is a good place to stop. May no marble bestow the splendor of woe, which the children of vanity rear. No fiction of fame shall blazon my name. All I ask, all I wish, is a tear. Lord Byron. More later.